Moving to the final and the last topic of the day, where agriculture sector, especially the fishery sector, is reeling under pressure again from this Iran-Israel war that is happening in West Asia. How it is impacting? If you see that India, especially the state of Andhra Pradesh, which is the largest producer of fisheries in India, it is exporting fishes to various nations, around 128 nations across the world, and West Asia being a major consumer of these dishes. Now, when these fishes are not being imported by these countries because of disruption, because of instabilities, because of choking of the global choke points, then it is disrupting the livelihood of the farmers, fishermen who are dependent on this. How? If we talk about the numbers, India is the second largest fish producer, contributing 8% to the global output. It is ranking second in terms of aquaculture production. It is leading in terms of shrimp production as well as the export of shrimps. And it is also the second largest producer in terms of capture fisheries. Not just this economic numbers, even 3 crore fishermen are dependent for their livelihood on this fishery sector. This showcases the importance of fishery sector for India. And it is also contributing around 8% or 7.43% to the agriculture gross value added. Around 7.43% of this agriculture GDP is contributed solely by this fishery sector. If we talk about the regional distribution of this fishery system, we see Andhra Pradesh is the leading state, where it is leading in terms of inland fisheries as well as in the aggregate fisheries. On the other hand, Gujarat as a state is the largest producer of marine fisheries in India. Thus, it is a well diversified form of livelihood in India. It is economically productive and it is raising a good amount of money for us. Around 62,000 crore worth rupees of export were happened in the year 2023 to 2024. But now it is reeling under a lot of pressure because of the conflict in West Asia. Government on its own have been promoting fishery sector by various schemes that they have launched. For example, the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Kisan Samriddhi Sah Yojana, which is actually a sub-component of the central sector scheme of Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. It was launched in the year 2024 for a period of 4 years from 24 to 27. It is going to be implemented in all the states and union territory with an estimated outlay of around 6,000 crore rupees. The features of it include gradual formalization of unorganized fisheries. It is allowing greater access to institutional finances so that they are not taking loans from unusual sources which are charging usurious amount of interest from them. Then they are promoting one-time incentive for one crop cycle to aqua farmer for producing aquaculture insurance. That is also being promoted. They are also incentivizing performance grant through fishery sector value chain efficiency, including creation and maintenance of jobs. Incentive would also be given for enhancement of quality. If they are ensuring a certain quality, a certain standard, then they would be given incentive, thus promoting the greater exports, because they would now be meeting the sanitary and the phytosanitary standards of the Western nation. They would also be integrating the various value chain associated with the fishery sector as a whole. This is something that they are being done under this sub-scheme of Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. In aggregate also, in the last year's budget of 2025-26, they gave a budgetary allocation of around 2,703 crore rupees. That is around 2,700 crore rupees was given. They increased the budgetary allocation by 3.3% from the previous budget. Then the solely Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, which is basically enhancing the food processing in terms of fishery production, enhancing value chain integration of fisheries, that itself was given around 2,400 crore rupees. So government on its part have been doing whatever it can to promote fisheries in India, but they are as a sector, it is reeling under the external shocks, which is leading the indigenous farmers, fishermen to be able to sell whatever fishery they are producing at a very throwaway prices. This is the situation as of now, which is highlighting us to diversify our export basket from the Western Asia to other nations, for example, Eastern Asia, including Japan, as well as the nations of USA, Canada, Russia. All of them should be diversified and included in our export basket so that we can develop a resilient blue economy.